Remember, in previous video of DBMS, we studied relational DBMS, object-oriented DBMS, and object-relational DBMS models. Do remember to watch the videos in sequence so that you can understand the concept clearly. In this lecture, we consider part 4 of DBMS, that is defining DBMS, functions of DBMS, features of DBMS, data abstraction, different users of DBMS, database administrator, and components of database system. We already talked a lot about DBMS, but what is DBMS? DBMS or database management system is defined as a collection of interrelated data and a set of programs to access the data. Or it can also be defined as a software that handles all accesses to the database. Simply, DBMS is a set of programs that is used to store, access, manipulate, and delete data. DBMS defines a way to store data in the form of a database and allows the users to view, modify, and delete the data as per requirements. We already know that database is a systematic collection of computer data. Without DBMS, a person cannot interact with the database. Among the various DBMS software, Relational Database Management System software is popular. Examples of DBMS software: Microsoft Access, DBase, Microsoft FoxPro, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, Postgres, MySQL, NoSQL, etc. This page shows examples of some DBMS software. Now let us consider the functions of DBMS. Functions of DBMS. First one, creating the database objects such as tables, queries, forms, and reports. The complete set of all these objects creates the entire database. Second one, defining attributes and indexes for records. Indexes help to identify a single record from hundreds of records. Third one, adding or storing new data in the database. For example, adding a new student record in student table, arranging records in increasing or decreasing order. Fourth one, accessing all or limited data from the database. For example, viewing student records who are from a particular category, like showing a list of students whose income is below 20,000. Modifying existing data from the database. For example, changing the old mobile number with new mobile number of a student from student table. Deleting or removing unwanted data from the database. For example, deleting a student's record because of dropout. Providing data sharing to several users. For example, two clerks can access the same student data. Eighth one, providing concurrency control by avoiding two persons editing the same record at the same time by locking mechanism. Concurrency means the same database can be accessed by many users at the same time. Ninth one, giving access permissions or authorizations for the users to read, modify, and enter data. Normal users have few permissions compared to the database administrators. 10th one, providing proper security to avoid unauthorized access to the data. It is done by password and thumb recognition. 11th one, providing backup and recovery facility to protect data in case of system failure. When the hardware or software of the database system fails, the data should not be lost. Features of DBMS. First one, supports large amount of data. DBMS provides special means to store and manipulate large amount of data. Second one, provides data sharing, concurrency, and locking. DBMS also allows data to be shared by two or more users. The same data can be accessed by multiple users at the same time by providing data concurrency. DBMS uses locking mechanism to avoid more than one user trying to change the same data at the same time. Third one, provides security. DBMS ensures that data is only accessed by authorized users. DBMS provides features needed to implement security at the enterprise level. Fourth one, maintains integrity. DBMS provides means to implement rules to maintain integrity of the data, to improve usability of the data and reduction of garbage. Integrity ensures accuracy and consistency of data throughout the database and transactions. Accidental modification of data is avoided. Fifth one, fault tolerance and recovery. DBMS provides fault tolerance so that the system continues to run in spite of errors. It allows users to rectify the mistakes online. DBMS allows to take backup of the data regularly so that when there is a failure, recently updated data is available and it can be recovered. Sixth one, supports other languages. DBMS supports data definition, data manipulation, data control languages. The most widely used data access language for RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System, is SQL or Structured Query Language. Now it is time to know what is schema. The overall design or structure of the database is called as schema. It is a plan, outline or blueprint to construct the database. Schema defines tables with required columns, fields or attributes mentioning what type of values and sizes of the values these columns will store, that is data types. Remember, the columns do not contain any data or records at this moment. There are different types of database schemas like physical or internal schema, conceptual or logical schema, and external or sub or view schema. Schema is just a structural view of the database as shown in the following diagram. The diagram shows admission table and exam table having one-to-one relationship. Note that we see only fields of both tables and not the records. Subschema. A subschema is an abstract portion of the conceptual database. Subschema facilitates user to express the queries to view the database. Subschema refers only to a part of the entire database. Let us know what does the term instance means. The collection of data stored at a particular time in a database system is called as instance. We know that schema adds columns to the database, that is table. It also decides what kind of values and their sizes should be stored in each column. That means a table structure is ready but it is empty with no values. Then the values or records are inserted into the columns of the table. Instance is the values inserted or present in the columns at a particular time. Instance of the database at one moment is different from another moment because users enter new data or values in the table, modify or delete them. For example, in a college, yesterday's instance of admission table showed 54 students taken admission, but today evening the instance showed 72 students because additional 18 students have taken admission today. Note that we are seeing only 5 end records from the table in both instances. Data abstraction in DBMS or 3-schema architecture. What is data abstraction in DBMS? The process of representing only required characteristics to the users without showing extra details is called as abstraction. Abstraction hides the detailed internal elements and architecture from the normal user so that the interaction becomes simple and easy. We know that database system is a complex system made up with large amount of data and interrelations. Apart from the experts, that is programmers and database administrators, other users find it hard to understand the complex data structure. So, to simplify the user interaction with the database system developers hide internal irrelevant details from the users. Hence, abstraction reduces the complexity of interaction to the user. For example, when a student logs into university student portal, he will view only his or her hall ticket or result but not others' details. The student will also do not know where and how the university is storing the data of all students and which data model it has used. There are 3 levels of abstraction in DBMS that are also known as 3-schema architecture. This is to provide data independence. Data independence means user and data should not directly interact with each other. This can be achieved by keeping user and data at different levels. Following are the 3 levels of abstraction that first appeared in 1970. First one, physical level, second one, logical level, and third one, view level. Before explaining, let us look at the diagram of 3 levels of abstraction or 3-schema architecture. Let us know the three levels of data abstraction of DBMS in detail. Now, first one, physical level or internal schema. Physical level is the lowest level of abstraction. It describes how the data are actually stored in the database, means how many bits are consumed by the data and statements. At this level, complex low-level data structure of the database is described in detail. It tells the exact location or drive of the data stored on secondary storage devices such as hard disk. Data at this level is stored in the form of files using a proper data structure. A physical level is hardware dependent and very complex to understand. Application programmers or software developers deal with the data at this physical level. Second one, logical level or conceptual schema. Logical level is also known as conceptual level. This middle level describes what data is stored in the database and what relationship exists among the data. Logical level decides on the data model like relational, hierarchical, network or object-oriented to be used for the database system. Entire database is described in terms of small numbers of relatively small structures. Database administrator or DBA uses this logical level to decide what information is to be kept in the database. It is less complex than physical level. For example, in relational model, the creation of tables by defining fields or attributes with data types and building relationship between them is done at the logical level. It is a kind of blueprint of the database. The third level is view level or external schema or subschema. This is the highest level in data abstraction and least complex. This level deals with normal users and describes user interaction with the database system. Here, user deals with only part of the entire database that he or she wants to see and not everything. The users interact with the database system with the help of GUI, graphical user interface, and enter details through forms. They are not aware of how the data at physical level is stored and what kind of data definition is used at the logical level because such complex details are hidden from them. A subschema is an abstract portion of the conceptual database. Subschema facilitates user to express the queries to view the database. The external schema design is guided as per requirements of the end user. Users can view different portions and proportions of the entire data. For example, in online banking, customers can log into only their accounts and view balance and make money transfers. But a bank employee does not log into a customer's account but logs into his employee account. He or she will see these customer accounts in a different view. The bank manager has again more different views with more controls in his hand. The external schema can have several views that are different from each other. The views also make provision to limit the amount of data viewed by the users. These views have different authorization levels, that is, read, write, and edit. Let us have an example of views at the third level. In a college database management system, the following types of users will be there. Student, view 1 or user 1. Student can view his or her profile, attendance, marks but cannot change them. Clerk, view 2 or user 2. Clerk can view his or her profile, view and modify student admission records, scholarships and examination records. Librarian, view 3 or user 3. He can enter new book records as well as view and modify book issued to students and staff. Professor, view 4 or user 4. Professor can view his or her profile, records of classes engaged by him or her. He or she can view salary, committee tasks, and mentor records. He can put marks and attendance. Principal, view 5 or user 5. The head of the institute can view his or her profile, view records of the staff attendance, salary, class-wise student results, admissions, as well as information from the management. Let us know who are the people those work or use DBMS, that is, different users of the database. Database users are classified according to the way they interact with the database system. There are different types of users such as application programmer, DBA, system analyst, casual or temporary user, sophisticated user, end user as follows. First one, application programmer. Application programmers are the persons having professional knowledge in software development. They are responsible for developing application program that completely manages the database system. They create the DBMS software like FoxPro, Oracle, MySQL, DB2, DBase, etc. Second one, system analyst. System analyst's primary duty is to look after the management information system (MIS) in an organization. To the DBA, he suggests what data is to be input and how the information should appear for analysis and decision making. Third one, casual user or temporary user. Such user uses the database scarcely or occasionally, such as functional managers like production manager, sales manager, purchase manager, etc. Fourth one, end user. These are naive or parametric users who need not worry about the conceptual and physical levels of DBMS. They are least concerned about the storage or representation scheme. They use GUI forms to enter or modify data and reports to view the data. End users run or execute queries through SQL to see records and sometimes to modify them. Queries are the statements typed to talk with DBMS. Fifth one, sophisticated user. These users can be engineers, scientists, business analysts who are familiar with the database. They can write SQL queries and develop their own database applications according to their requirements. Sophisticated users maintain their personal databases by using ready-made software package that provides user-friendly interface like Microsoft Access. Among all these different users, the sixth type of user is important, that is database administrator or simply DBA. DBA can be a single or a group of persons that is responsible for managing the whole DBMS installed in an organization. DBA is an experienced or more technical person in using DBMS. Small organizations will have one DBA while large organizations will have a team of DBAs. He is having full control over the DBMS by managing database schemas like tables, relationships, transactions, and constants. He allows users to view, enter, and modify data by proper authorization. Let us list various responsibilities or functions of the DBA. DBA has to take wide range of responsibilities such as designing database schema. He takes responsibility of deciding on number of tables, their fields, data types as well as relationships between tables. Defining storage structure and access method. DBA creates appropriate storage structure and access methods by writing a set of definitions, which is translated by the data storage and DDL or data definition language compiler. Deciding the instances and validations for the database. DBA decides on status of data at a particular time and ensures correct data is entered in tables by putting validation rules. Security and authorization. The DBA is responsible for ensuring that unauthorized data access is not permitted. In general, not every user will be able to access complete data. DBA does this by writing a set of definitions to generate modifications to the appropriate internal system table. Setting constants. DBA ensures the data values stored in the database must satisfy certain consistency constants. Constants are simply restrictions applied while creating tables and relationships. There are 5 types of constants, that is, null constant that prevents entering null value in a column of a table. Unique key constant, that is, no duplicate values allowed. Primary key constant, that is, a table should have one or more columns with unique values for creating relationships. Foreign key constant, it is a referential integrity constant for correct updating and deleting records of two tables that are in a relationship consistently. Example, if admission table deletes a student record, then exam table should also automatically remove it, otherwise data will be inconsistent. And last one, check constant for checking validation of data entered in a table. Data availability and recovery from failure. DBA takes steps to ensure that if the system fails, user can continue to access the uncorrupted data as much as possible. The DBA also works to restore the data to a consistent state. He must provide software support for these functions. DBA is responsible for implementing procedures to back up the data periodically and to maintain recovery from failure. For example, in case of hard disk crash. The next responsibility of DBA is monitoring the performance. DBA frequently cross-checks whether all the elements of database system such as hardware, software, users, etc. are properly working or not. Enforcing transaction consistency. DBA imposes atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability, that is, ACID properties, so that transactions happening on the database are consistent. Quality assurance. DBA is responsible for improving the quality of user interaction by query optimization, data consistency, and availability. Scalability. DBA looks into the future requirements of DBMS in his organization. He provides scope for expansion and improvements of the database system. User liaison. DBA timely instructs the user of the database in case of modifications. He also accepts feedback from the users and implements the changes as needed. Database system. Database system or database management system is a system of systematic way of storing, accessing, modifying, and deleting data using computers such as finance, education, scientific and research, military, entertainment, etc. data. Organizations implement database system to automatically manage their all important data so that they can correctly know their position and profitability. Without database system, it is hard for companies and institutions to manage large amount of variety of data that is entering into the departments. The database system has following objectives: to make an integrated collection of data available to a wide variety of users, to provide for quality and integrity of the data, to ensure retention of privacy through security measures within the system, to allow centralized control of the database, which is necessary for efficient data administration. Let us consider the components of database system. Have a look at this diagram. Database system is made up of following four important components. First one, hardware. It is the internal physical structure in database system. This component consists of tangible components like processor, motherboard, RAM, storage devices like hard disk, disk drives, USB drives, tape drives, etc. Input-output devices like keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, scanner, touch screen, etc. Communications such as internet, local area network, etc. Hardware acts as the architecture for the software so that it can interact with the user present in the external world. Second one, software. It is a logical part of the computer system which is intangible in nature. Software components consist of operating system like Windows, Mac, Android, etc. Application software to manage and control database, that is FoxPro, DBase, DB2, MS Access, Oracle, SQL, etc. Query processor to translate user queries into machine language. Runtime database manager or database control system. Database engine to store, process and secure data, etc. Third one, data or record. It is the main component because without data, database system is nothing. Data is defined as a collection of figures, facts and statistics that can be processed to produce meaningful information. The whole database system exists to collect, store, process and access data. Data can be both the actual or operational data like employee, student, citizen, product, etc. and the metadata or data dictionary. Metadata is the data about data that contains information about database objects such as tables, indexes, columns, data types and views. Data is stored and accessed using particular data structure. Fourth one, users. The person who works on or uses the database is called as user. There are three types of users. First one, end user or non-programmer. The personnel who uses the DBMS for performing day-to-day activities on database in an organization is the end user. This person is not concerned with writing or controlling DBMS software. He or she is only allowed with limited access and editing provisions. He will be just accessing the database from a terminal without the knowledge of the internal structure of the database. Second one, application programmer. Application programmers are the persons having professional knowledge in software development. They are responsible for developing application program that completely manages the database system. They create the DBMS software like FoxPro, Oracle, MySQL, DB2, DBase, etc. Third one, database administrator or DBA. After successful implementation of DBMS software and hardware in the organization, it needs to be managed and controlled. This key task is done by a person called DBA. He is responsible for effectively handling the database, providing security and integrity as well as proper access to the end users. I hope this video was useful for you. Let us meet in the next class. Like and share my videos. Thank you.